So for lesson 6 and 7, it's going to take you probably 2 days to do, so you have a full hour to work on it. I would like you to write a paragraph that compares the two books that we've been looking at. Now, I know that we've written paragraphs and you're all experts in them, but just a reminder, your introductory sentence, everything else is going to be about that. So it has to have the topic and the main idea. So you can't just say in your first sentence, the snail and the whale. It's not a sentence, it's a topic, maybe, but there's no main idea to go with it. What are you going to say about the snail and the whale? So remember that for your first sentence. Okay, I would really like you to edit and revise your paragraph before you hand it in. I want to see a finished piece here. And it is a comparing paragraph, which we haven't done before. That means that you're going to want to be using words for comparison. And I did include a list of those in your reflection document right here. So contrast is looking at how two things are different, and comparing is looking at how two things are similar. Now the assignment here is to write about how the books are similar. We're comparing them. Okay, so you might use some of these words, like, some, both, the same as, in the same way, most important, similarly, to, as well as, and that to is TOO, the one that's in addition to. Okay, here are some ideas for what you could base your paragraph on. Probably if you were to try and include all of these ideas, you would end up with an essay. So remember, I want one good paragraph with a really strong introductory sentence and everything being about that same topic and main idea. So you could write about characters' actions and their consequences. Remember, we're comparing the two books. So the characters and the consequences in The Snail and the Whale compared to the characters and consequences in Lost and Found. Okay, or you could do character motivations, what makes them do the things that they do, how you related to the characters, how characters interact with other characters, or the mood or the tone of the books. Okay, again, you're probably going to choose one of these ideas, and your paragraph needs to be comparing both books. So you might write about the mood in The Snail and the Whale is similar to the mood in Lost and Found. These are my reasons why. And the most important thing, no matter which one of these you choose, you need to be providing evidence from the book. Okay, so remember, I think from the very first video in this mini unit, when you are providing evidence from a book, you need to be directly quoting and you need to be mentioning the author. So here's an example. This could be a sentence. Please don't use the same one. You can use the same idea if you have other things to say about it. Similarly, Lost and Found has a theme of friendship. When Oliver Jeffers writes, comma, quotation mark, because this is a direct quote, and so the boy and his friend went home together, talking of wonderful things all the way, comma, and quotation, he finishes his book with the idea that friendship was always the goal. So you can see that I've sandwiched my idea, then the quote from the author, and my idea. So my ideas are on either side of it. Okay, that's usually the best way to do it. When you are putting in the title of a book, you're going to make sure that you put it properly with capital letters. And I'm just going to highlight this. You can italicize the title of a book in your writing. That's the I up here, italicized. Okay, so then when we get to the quotation, we're using quotation marks the same way that we always have. If it was a character speaking, it would be a similar thing, setting them off with commas, comma here, comma here. Now, sometimes the author will have specific punctuation inside the quote that you can't change because everything inside the quote is exactly what the author said. So in this case, there's actually a period in the book. Oops. I need to leave that period there because that's part of what the author actually wrote. Okay, and you can see I've got a typo here. When I click over top of it, it suggests oh, it did suggest that I should change it to go, but that's not an option that I have because this is not my writing. It's the direct quote from the author. So if the computer was saying go makes sense here, no, it has to be went because that's what the author said. Okay, you don't want to fill your paragraph too much with quotes, but you do definitely want to use probably 2 or 3 pieces of evidence from the book. They don't have to be direct quotes every time. You can just say, Oliver Jeffers ends his book talking about friendship. Okay, you're still mentioning the author, you're still using evidence from the book, but it's not a direct quote. So either one would work fine. Probably a combination of both is the best way.